So, Rose Red Part 2 is pretty fucking boring. It's drawn out, nothing really happens in it. There are really bad effects. The acting for a lot of the actor characters just gets a lot worse. The writing gets worse. A lot of them become a lot more unlikable. Sister in particular, her sole purpose is just say stop Annie or don't do that Annie. And she's just really, really, really useless. Just, oh yeah, your sister has been talking to this interdimensional being this entire time. But yeah, I'm sure she was the one who opened the door and it wasn't said interdimensional being. Okay, you're really useless, sister. Um, Emery in this part is just so unbearable. He might have a funny moment here or there, but God, the performance for him just really, really grates on me. The man playing him does not know how to shut his mouth. And I'm not just talking about not knowing when to shut up. He literally just acts with his mouth open the entire time. You can just see him in the background with his mouth open. Even if he's just kind of blurred out in the background, you just see him, mouth agape, partially or all the way. It's just really, really, really annoying. And his deep breathing just really, really, really annoys me. And like I said, the character gets a lot more unlikable. It provided some good comedy in the first part, and you can kind of see where the character is coming from. In this part, he just becomes more of a dick, and he's just really, really bad. He's a bad character. He's really unlikable, and yeah, you can kind of get the aspect of, oh, you're supposed to root against him now or whatever. But good God, and you can kind of see where he's coming from, and he's been tortured by all these apparitions. Is he not willing to take the chance to help this guy? Which maybe it's the smarter thing to do, but he also just left a guy out to die. I know he didn't know him, but everything else we've seen Emery doing, I think he knows they're real. He just wants to act like they're not, especially since he's probably in denial about the fact that his mother is probably also dead right now. She was there. She died, added to the body count in this episode, which I guess was 4, depending on what happened to Bones. I can't remember if she lives or not in the third part. I'll have to see when I get there. And I'm assuming Mr. Miller's dead, but like I said, I have to see the next part. Because the ending of this part, oh boy. Halo 2 has nothing on just stopping abruptly in your second part of your trilogy of stories. Just all this stuff going on, and suddenly it ends. It just ends. See you in part 3? Fuck you. You have to see. You wonder what's all going? Well, we just desolation of smog your ass. And we got your viewership count too, and you'll come back tomorrow because you don't want to feel gypped on it. Is it going to be good tomorrow? Well, why don't you watch it and find out? I really didn't like this part. It's drawn out so much. There's just so much slow walking of people just staring, slowly talking. So many moments of just, why are we doing this? What's going on? And we basically just get a slow tour of the entire house saying, oh, this person died like this. This person died like this. Is it adding much to the stuff? Some of the characters come up again and gave us the really only good Emery moment and one of the few kind of honestly creepy moments of the entire part. But other than that, it was just This part 2, excuse me, was really, really boring and not scary. That's the worst part about it. It really wasn't scary. There are a couple moments here and there, like when the statue takes off its face and it's just really slowly starting to move. And the eye opening is just kind of creepy. But oh my god, that little girl is so unscary, it's just laughable. And the effects are also laughable. And that domino was one of the worst things I've ever seen. Just, Jesus. Just, man. God, was it not scary? I do have to turn it back a bit now and kind of say there are some things I like. despite all the things I don't like in this part. I do like the aspect of all these people who have dealt with so much stuff like this throughout their entire lives, kind of non-reacting to a lot of this stuff. Like, they're just like, okay, this is what I do to get rid of this, and that's really fresh to me. Even if it's been done some other stuff, it feels fresh, especially since it's 15 years old. It feels right, and I enjoy that aspect. Some of the acting didn't regress. But those who didn't regress don't really get much to do. Like I said, the main character, the professor, she's just turned into honestly, a tour guide. She's a tour guide for most of this. And then at the end, she's just walking around in a circle with meters. She's not really doing much. You're not really getting much from her other than she knows a lot about this place. She really hates Professor Miller. And she walks around with stuff, and she really wants to turn this place alive. To spite Professor Miller. Even if that's not the best idea. It's just, she doesn't do a lot in this one. The psychic who can read people's minds, he gets a lot more screen time in this, and his performance is alright. He has some good interactions with each individual person. He's a bit of a dick to Emery, but Emery's a bit of a dick too, so that is that. Annie is an interesting enough character. The performance, I think, is actually pretty good. Like I said, I couldn't really make much of it last time, but this time it's really solid. It's one of the few times I've seen a kid actor do a good job, and the fact that she's playing an autistic character also makes it a little bit more impressive. The proprietor of the place, he's alright, he just kind of exists. I really hope they're not trying to push a romance angle between him and Sister. I can't remember if that's where that ends up, but they don't really have any chemistry. Like I said, Sister is really useless. The dude could do so much better. The other two psychic characters are just kind of there. The one guy just has kind of a heart attack, and he's just suddenly there. He's suddenly being lured away. He's not really doing much. He dances with Bones, but that's a bit about it. And the other woman, she's useless as a sack of logs. Like, she's there. She's not. You don't even see her in the rest of the part after the whole weird bed scene. The characters don't really do much other than dance, walk, eat pizza, and look at very laughable effects. This I could see why people had such mixed feelings about this, because the first part, for all its flaws, had some good build-up and anticipation. What is this place like? God, this place sounds horrific. They're building this place up, and you get there, and it's just doors opening. The place expanding is a cool concept, but like that's about it. Like I said, the effects are laughable. The woman who plays the servant character from the past, who keeps popping up, in the past I think she's given a really bad performance. In the present, I think she's really relishing the role of being this like evil entity, and you can kind of show. And I kind of like her performance. The photographer guy is not a scary jump scare, despite what this part seems to think. And there's not really a lot to say. Like I said, not much really happens. There's some good moments here and there, but overall, this part was a slog to get through. When it ended, I was like, that's it? Okay, so we get laughable bowler jump scares. Emery's a dick. His mother shows up just to die. Miller's there, might be dying. One guy had a heart attack. Bones, who's one of the few good actors and one of the few likable characters, seems to be gone just kind of like that. So that's not really good. I just hope part 3 picks up, because I do remember part 3 being good, but remember part 2 being scarier than it is, and it's just not very good. Like, it's honestly, maybe the first part, I would say maybe a 6 or 7. This part was a 4. And I really, really hope that's just not a downward trend. Because, good God, if part 3 continues that trend, oh man, this video is going to be even longer. Well, until then, later.